anything portable operation. I did, just prior to the weather changing, did get out and took the music speaker stand for the music tripod, the buddy pole extension or the mast, and I took the long arms, got it up in the air, and found out it was way too top heavy, and it didn't have any guiding equipment, and I couldn't have guided it at the time. That was a bust, but I have been searching and looking at the spider beam mast, the 12-meter, I think it's 40 feet, something like that, and I've been reviewing that today. So I think that's going to be a solution to my situation. And I want to wish everybody aloha and 73. Back to you, Julie, J5H.
All right, Paul. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And I'm sorry that the music stand didn't work out, but, you know, that's how we learn is trial and error. So best of luck on the mass with you, and just keep us posted. Thanks again for joining us, Paul. And with that, we're going to move on over to W4IRT, Tracy in Kentucky, who last time I saw was mighty wet. Go ahead, Tracy. Take a turn, please.
Well, hello, Julie, and everyone on the net tonight. Well, now the photos that I shared on Facebook today was a memory from 3 years ago to date, to the same day. So that's what the water can do. Fortunately, it hasn't done that this year. Now that it started coming down in the form of sleet tonight, and everybody's windshield was frosted over and yada, yada, yada. So, but I did take time to go through Wendy's drive-thru and get me some chili and a burger. So can't go wrong there. Stephen did try to connect, but he didn't make it. He's still at work, and so he asked me to, and he's at work by choice, but he did ask me to relay him in, and that's KN4IRN, and we'll look at his hotspot stuff again tonight. He couldn't reconnect to his phone, so we'll get her worked out. I would like to say kudos to all of our volunteers, fire departments, and so forth and so on. When I hear Dave talk about it, I'm thinking good for you, and I'm glad that people do that. That is awesome. Our guys here are wide open. I've got the scanner going. I'm a trustee on the local board, and man, they work themselves to death, and they do it all for free. Hence, therefore, volunteer. All right, everybody. I think I'll think of something else to say for round two. So W4RT back to net control.
All right, Tracy, we'll find business. And see, that just goes to show you, I didn't read the post well enough. I forgot that they do that. But I'm glad to say that, well, I don't know, maybe you'd rather have the water than the sleet. I don't know. It's a toss-up, yeah. So anyway, thanks for sharing with us, Tracy. And I did relay in KN4IRN, Stephen, and hopefully you guys will get everything situated for him there, and he'll be up next week. And with that, we're going to go on over to the other gentleman who helped Stephen get his radio going, KN4RGB. Stuart, go ahead and take a turn, please.
Good evening, Julie, and the rest of the net. Yeah, I'll leave Stephen to give the news about his radio that was, well, he drowned in it in a pond last summer, and recently it's been run over by a truck. So it must have 9 lives, I swear. And other than that, I've just playing with the radio. I finished my NFED half-wave project, and I made my own inductor coil so that I could get on 80 meters, and it works quite well. I'm real pleased with it. So that's about it. I'll be around for the second round. Back to you, Net Control.
All right. right, Stuart. Well, that's great about the antenna. Yeah, and that word that I just mentioned, we've been mentioning it around here lately, and I think that's what brought the winds. Every time we decide we're going to move an antenna or do an antenna project, we get winds that don't like to play nice. So, fine business, Stuart. Glad to hear that you're up on 80 meters and it's working well. And with that, we are going to go over to Georgia and Sully, KD4 LZL. Sully, go ahead and take a turn, please.
Well, thank you. We're good here. Yeah, we're all good here. The weather has been unusually warm. I hear everybody up north and not too far north of us are really getting cold weather. But we're getting a bit of rain now and then, but so far no cold weather. And let's throw a question out there. If anybody might be able to give me a little bit of feedback. On the DMR radio, when you're looking at your screen, you know, doing your screenshot, and you're talking with somebody, or somebody keys up, they light the screen up, and they'll have their name, call sign, number, location, and all that. But then again, some people don't have anything but their DMR number. So I'm kind of wondering why some people light it up and some don't. I'm just still trying to learn this thing. So excuse the dumb questions. But anyway, I just wanted to pass that around. And I'll let it go back to you, Julie. We'll catch you on the second round.
All right, Sully. Well, thank you very much. Yep, and I'm pretty sure it's the database, but you know what? We have a couple experts coming up. Hi. And with that, I am going to move on over to Larry, WA6 DYI. Go ahead and take a turn, please.
All right, WH6 FEW in the net, WH6 and DYI. They keep calling me an expert. I don't know about that. I have to read a lot, and sometimes I don't know. So I don't know if there's an expert level of this stuff, to be honest. But I think to answer your question, yeah, it's pretty much, as Mom mentioned, dependent on the database that's in the radio as to what it displays, and very dependent on the radio. There is information through PyStar that does go to the radio, but as far as I know, only the OpenGD77 firmware will read that. I think that's my OpenGD77 will do that. But the other radios don't necessarily pull that data. Usually they pull from a database, just to confuse the issue slightly more. Anyway, hope that answers some of it. I'm sure Simon can go into some more detail if I didn't cover it, too, because I believe he's coming up here in a bit. And, he probably knows better than I do. I'm not sure exactly what data travels where. So let's see. Weather. Yes, that's been fun. Every time we mention an antenna, it either rains here out of absolute nowhere. There's nothing on the radar, but it's pouring here. And I mean, really, sometimes pouring here. And otherwise, we get wind if we mention an antenna. And, like big gusts, 30, 35 constant, and the 40s coming in. It's a very interesting place out here on the corner of this island, in the middle of the Pacific. We watch the most massive storms come and go towards you guys over there on the mainland sometimes, and sometimes they go right over us and just absolutely blow everything to the ground. So it's fascinating. But yes, the warm weather is here, except for the nights are still a little chilly, so things are moving around up there. That's what I've got for now. I'll pass it back to Net Control. This is WH6 DYI.
All right, Larry, thank you very much, and thanks for joining us today. And now we are going to move on over to Todd in Kentucky, W4GB. Todd, go ahead.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Todd in Kentucky. We also have a little bit of ice coming in, so that's some fun to deal with. Otherwise, my daughter's here, so we're just sitting down to dinner, and she lives on the other side of the state. Great week, 73, back to Net Control. This is W4GB.
All right, Todd. Well, thank you very much for sticking around and joining us one round. And go and enjoy dinner with your daughter. Always nice to have family around. I'm going up to see my mom and dad and my brothers this weekend. So always a good thing to do. And I put you down for one round. It's perfectly acceptable. So thank you again for joining us. And with that, we are going to move halfway around the world to HB9 EZW. Aloha, Simon in Switzerland. Go ahead and take a turn, please. WH6FUW and the net. This is HB9 EZW. Well, hello, everybody. Let's see. We had a pretty sunny day today. Temperatures up to the 70s. Now it dropped down to about 34 degrees. Let's see. First of all, I'd like to relay in Kilo 3 Fox Zulu Tango stroke KH6. He asked me in the NetLogger chat to relay him in because he can't stick around today, so he will be in and out. And I also saw N1GMB streaming, so we're all going to be YouTube stars tonight. Hi. Yeah, he's doing a great job with that. I actually watched the stream from last Sunday, and I had to turn it off because I can't listen to myself for too long time. Hi. But anyway, great. Let's see. I was watching some YouTube videos today from Curious Mark. He had a few more videos from his S-band transponder from the Apollo. Some follow-ups that I haven't seen yet. I actually posted the playlist some time ago in one of our Facebook groups, if anyone is interested. Apart from that, I had some phone calls, one with the HR department of my new employee, and another call with a friend who needs someone to talk. So, yeah, we made an appointment tomorrow, then I have to see what's on his mind. And I just see here in the NetLogger chat from Tracy, KN4IRN, just advised he's connected now, so you might call him afterwards. Apart from that, to get to a 7 is one of them, but also the Anytone 8878 or the 8868. And the transmission is long enough to transmit the data. You see the talker alias. And and I apparently timed out, sorry about that. And to correct the WH6DYI, the information does not come from PyStar, but from the network, from Brandmeister. If you're, for example, on TGIF, you don't get any talker alias unless the source radio is transmitting it. All right, long talk, that's it for the first round, and I'll pass it back to Net, WH6FUW, this is HB9ECW. All right, Simon. Well, thank you very much for all that information, and I know what you mean about listening to the net. I started to listen to last Wednesday's live stream, and I went, oh, no, that's okay. I like to remember it the way I remember it. Okay, and with that, I am going to go on over and see if, by a chance, KN4IRN, Stephen, are you there, sir?
Good evening, Julie, aloha, and everybody on the net. This is KN4IRN. I'm connected in here, hopefully coming through okay.
You are absolutely coming through okay, sir. Go ahead and take a turn, please.
Well, good deal. Well, big thanks to Stuart, KN4RGB, who took my radio and tried to work out the reason I was dropping out and such. So he did some updates and other things on it. So I'm grateful for that. The only thing, I didn't read all of his notes, and I didn't know that the office or my phone was not a connection that was put in. So I've been sitting here for 30 minutes trying to get it to connect to
one of those two, and then I read the notes, so I went in and I added the two connections, and so sounds like it's up and working. Had a busy day, sitting here watching sleet and freezing rain come down. Not real excited about that. Here on the scanner, all types of vehicles off the road and such, so I have to be extra careful on the way home. I will be around for a second round, so with that, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to you.
All right, Stephen, we'll find business on the radio, and glad you got it hooked up and you read the fine print. Hi. And yes, please do be extremely careful going home this evening. And I did want to also recognize K3FZT/KH6, Steve, who is currently on Maui. And with that, we are at the end of the first round. I'm going to stand by for anybody else anywhere in the world that would like to join the 31002 net. Please call W86 FUW now. Okay, nothing heard. We're going to go back up to the top of the list with N1GMS. David, go ahead and take another turn, please.
Yeah, this is November 1, Delta Mike Sierra. Thank you, Julie, and good evening to everybody else on the rest of the net. Okay, issue 31 through 34 of my R2D2 build from Fan Home didn't go as planned. Had a little bit of a hiccup, which I ended up thinking that they sent me the wrong parts, but when I retraced back to issue 21, I ended up tearing down most of the bottom leg and found out that I had a mounting foot plate backwards. So once that was all fixed, issues 31 through 34 went into place fantastic. Let me drop it for a second. And I'm not sure what else I was going to mention. Can't remember. My OpenGD 77 does display the call sign and the name occasionally, but most likely it does display the call sign on my GD 77 using the OpenGD 77 software, if that makes sense. I do have an announcement which I can hold off until towards the end of the net. I can't think of anything else to say except that I hope everybody does well and stay safe, and love you all, and God bless. Thoughts and prayers. N1GMB back to net control.
All right, David. Well, thanks for the update, and I'm glad you found the problem, and all went smooth after that. And God bless you too, and love you too, David. And like I say, enjoy the memories of Sassy tomorrow and brewing parts of her home. So, with that, we are going to move back on over to Kentucky with K04QZA. Dave, go ahead and take another turn, please, sir.
K04 QZA, David Kentucky. Just hoping that the ice storms don't create the problems that we're looking forward to right now. This part of the country, Kentucky gets kind of beat up with ice storms and tornadoes, but we're used to it. We all know what to do. Everything's here. We got generators and just hoping that everything goes okay and that we don't have the issues that we had in Mayfield in December. it's very, it's disheartening. With that, back to you, Pier 4QC8 to net control.
All right, Dave. Well, I will keep you in my thoughts and prayers as far as that ice storm. That's never fun, but always good to be prepared. And now we are going to move on over to Larry in Oregon, W4LPA. Aloha, Larry. Go ahead and take another turn.
Well, thanks again, Julie. Yes, we did exercise our generator a couple of days ago, and even got the neighbor to pull hers out and warmed it up. Hi. Everybody sounded great. Gosh, everybody was clear, robust audio, no issues. Looks like the system is playing well, and I just had the sense that the audio from everybody was fuller. So I don't know if I imagine that or not, but we'll take the firmware upgrade on the open spot as at least initial success. And I hope everybody's doing well. Throw another log on the fire if you're able, and you're in the chilly parts. I know we're keeping the wood handy here. Hi. And I guess my neighbor was just reporting that we might get a little bit of snow tomorrow. I'll take the snow. I just don't like to do with ice. Ice brings on its own little set of problems. Okay, thanks again for doing that, Julie. As always, you do a great job. Back to net, W4OPA.
All right, Larry. Well, thanks for joining us again today. I'm glad you got to make 2 rounds. And yeah, another log on the fire. It's funny because we are in Hawaii, but at night, our neighbors, 2 of our neighbors have fireplaces or fire pits that they burn, and so we get to smell the fire at night. So we actually have a fire pit, but it's further in the back, and we don't walk out there to get warm. Hi. And with that, we are going to move back on over to South Carolina, where I hear it's nice and toasty warm. KO4 HRW. Joe, go ahead and take another turn, please.
It is absolutely nice and toasty warm right now. But back to what everyone was talking about the displaying of the call sign on the specific radio. I also utilize the GD77 open firmware, and yeah, it either comes, if you program it into the radio, whether you can download the database file that you then load onto the radio, or whether it's being transmitted to the radio. I agree with whoever said it earlier. I don't think Pi-Star will transmit that information. However, some local repeaters around here do, I've noticed, and I've been able to get people's get their call sign to show up.
All right, Joe. Well, again, thank you very much for joining us. Always good to hear you up, and always good to not hear that short time. Hi. And with that, we are going to move on over to Paul in New Mexico, KA5H. Aloha, Paul. Go ahead and take another turn, please. Okay, Paul may have mentioned he was one and done, but I didn't mark him as such, so I'll call him at the end of the list. In the meantime, we will move on over to W4IRT. Go ahead, Tracy. Take another turn, please.
Okay, Julie, thanks. W4RT returning. Well, you guys make me think, and that's scary because smoke probably is coming out of both ears. But I have the TYT 380 and the Anytone 878, and I think that I had to change a setting in those radios to make it display my information Like, because I'm using what we call the little generic Pi-Star or jumbo hotspot, whatever we want to call it there. And everything's being displayed on both of my radios. So I think it's the setting in the radios. Best I remember. I'll have to go pull my notes. I don't play with DMR enough to remember stuff. Anyway, that being said, wish everyone a great rest of the week, and hope everybody stays dry and enjoys their life. 7-3 from W4IRT.
All right, Tracy. Well, I hope you stay dry as well, and no slipping and sliding away. Just take care and take it easy out there. And thanks for everything you do. Always appreciated. And you will be getting a package from me soon. Hallelujah. And with lots of explanations, and then we can have a laugh on the net after it all comes out in the wash. Hi. And with that, we are going to move on over to Stuart in Kentucky, KN4RGB, Fine Business on Stevens Radio. Stuart, go ahead and take a turn, please.
Well, thank you, Julie. Right now, I'm talking on my little $13 DMR radio, so I hope I'm coming through okay. And as far as Steven's problem, it was more with the hotspot. He was still using version 4.12, and they're up to 4.16 now. And then the other problem was I had to calibrate the hotspot to work with his radio. He was getting bit error rates of 4, 6, and 7, and that's why he wasn't getting through. Now he should be down below 0.5 BER. So that's what I did. So all right, 73s to everyone. Back to you, Net Control.
All right, Stuart. Well, fine business. Whatever you did worked. So good on you. And thanks for joining us as always, Stuart. And thanks for everything you do for the Nets, too. Always appreciated. And with that, we are going to go on over to KD4LZL, Sully in Georgia. Go ahead and take another turn, please, Sully.
Okay. Interesting comments on the radio. And I'm using a Anytone, and I'm talking with people using Anytone. So we use the same kind of radios. But then again, some of them that I'm talking with, when I say they show their information and send bills, so I'm still kind of confused with why it's that way. And on my radio, when I'm transmitting, people tell me that they're seeing my information. I don't know if you're seeing it, but I'm transmitting full information. But some I get, some I don't. So I don't know. I was just, and it doesn't matter to me really, but I was just curious. And sometimes it's nice to see or hear somebody key up. You look at their call and kind of wonder where they're at. So anyway, I just wanted to pass around and see what people thought and see what's going on. Let the confusion on my head. I appreciate the net, Julie. Good as always. Looking forward to the next one. And I appreciate everybody's comments too. Y'all have a good one. I'll hang around and listen. 73's all.
All right, Sully. Well, thank you very much for always being here, and best of wishes to you and your wife. I hope you two are doing very well, and I hope she's healing nicely. I know it takes a 6 DYI returning. Well, fine business and all comments and everything going on. You be safe where the weather is inclement for sure. And yeah, that's a thing. As I listening to the gusts of wind overhead, they're picked up quite substantially. Let's see. I learned something today, so that's great. Simon, thank you so much for the clarification. Definitely, that was the thing. I had no idea where that information was coming from. So, as far as I'm just going to try to say it out loud in a coherent sentence. If it's just a number coming up on your radio, it's a database issue. Now, whether or not the database is in your radio or coming from Brandmeister, because there's probably a chance that Brandmeister could have
unmodified database that had just a number and maybe no call sign. But I could be mistaken on that as well. They might not allow that in their system anymore. But that would be probably the database and the radio then. But otherwise, Brandmeister sends the information, which clarifies why it does not come over the HB link and other things. So, fine business. I learned something. That's always great. Appreciate it. Great net. Keep smiling, everybody. We'll catch you all down the log. 7-3 and Aloha, and back to net control. And thank you, Brother Simon. Awesome.
All right, Larry. Well, thank you very much. And yep, these nets are good because I always learn something. I'm not sure everybody else does, but I always enjoy hearing what everybody's doing, and I do always learn something from these nets. And I do appreciate everybody being here, including you and your Hanai brother, who is next up on the list. HP9 ECW. Go ahead, Simon. Take another turn, please.
WH6FCW and the net is HP9ECW. Just to let you know, David just broke in and he mentioned he has a quick comment. All right, let's see. To clarify it even further, yes, brother, you got it correctly. Usually the DMR radio only transmits the DMR number, and if you have the database in your database in the radio a matching entry with the call sign, then the call sign gets displayed or whatever you put in there. And there's an addition to DMR called talker alias. If your radio is capable of doing that, then Brandmeister or any other network, including HB-Link, just passes it through. And if your radio is not able to transmit talker alias, in case of Brandmeister, the Brandmeister network steps in and just adds that to your DMR stream. Regarding repeaters, I guess Motorola repeaters, at least in the older firmwares, are not capable of transmitting talker alias. Hytera usually are, and MMDVM repeaters, including all the Pi stars, they are as well, unless there's a setting called DMR embedded LC only. If you activate that, all the talker alias stuff gets filtered out. The setting is called DMR embedded LC only. If that is turned on, no talker alias will get transmitted through MMDVM. Hope that doesn't confuse anymore, but yeah. Glad you learned something, and yeah, counting 19 check-ins on my list. Mahalo plenty for doing it. Best 73. Keep smiling. Love you all. And I hope to catch you on the next net. This is HP9ECW returning it back to net control.
All right, Simon. Well, thank you very much for all the information. And, yep, next net will be Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on 3/10/01. And I do believe it is David this Sunday. And I do believe I'll be here. I'm hoping anyhow. And now we're going to go on over and see if KN4IRN still has his radio going. Stephen, go ahead and take another turn, please.
Hello again, Julie. This is KN4RN. Well, about the other good news that I have is my FT3DR, my Yaesu. You know, it took a swim in the pond back in the summertime, 27 hours to be exact. It was at the bottom of the pond, fished it out, and it still worked. Well, now it has gotten run over by a pickup truck. I dropped it in the driveway when I was walking the dog, evidently, and we decided to jog back, and it fell out, and it's beat up. The screen was busted and cracked. I did order a new screen for it and put it all back together. It may not look real pretty, but it's functioning. It's still alive. So it's taken a licking and kept on ticking. So that is a true success story. If you want to test something, let me carry it around for a while. That's for sure. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Net Control. This is KN4IRN.
All right, Stephen. Well, you know what? That's pretty darn impressive. You should have the before and afters and maybe make a commercial. Okay, with that, we are at the bottom of the list, second time around, so I'm going to stand by for any latecomers, anybody else that would like to join the 3102 net, or any questions or comments. Come with your call sign now, please.
Whiskey 8, with Whiskey 8 Kilo Delta Zulu, Mike in Ohio.
Okay, Aloha, Mike in Ohio, W8KGZ. Go ahead and take a turn, please.
Well, I am a first timer here. I just found this on NetScraper, so I figured I'd jump on here, see what you all are talking about, but I'm not sure how this works over here. So I will pass it back to you and listen a little bit more and see how this works.
All right, Mike. Well, aloha and welcome to the 3102 net. We are actually at the bottom of the second round. We take turns, 2 rounds. We talk radio stuff. We talk personal stuff. We just talk story, as we say here in Hawaii. You're always welcome to come and join us and just see what we're up to. Something different every week. And we do have a sister net on 3101, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Sundays. More or less the same group and more or less the same kind of conversation. So you're more than welcome there too. But welcome to the net. Always good to have new people in. And with that, I'm going to stand by one more time for any questions, comments, or late check-ins. Please call now.
N1GMB net control.
N1GMB. Go ahead, David.
Okay, a couple of things. One, I have not heard from Jesse, so the TG 3101 net or check-in page is still down. I do not know if or when that will be back up. I guess that's all about I've got. Hope everyone stays safe. Have a great week. And we'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. on PG 3101. N1GMB back to net control.
All right, David. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, Jesse's had some health issues, and I'm not sure that he's around to do any kind of the tech support kind of stuff, but just give him some time, and hopefully he'll get back to you. And with that, we are going to stand by one more time for any last questions, comments, or announcements. And Simon, I actually now have 20. Hi. So anybody else have anything to say before I close her up? This is WH6 FUW.
KN4RGB comment.
KN4RGB. Stuart, go ahead.
This is for Sully. I don't know if he's still listening or not, but on your Anytone radio, you need to go into the programming software. And on the left-hand side of the page, there's 3 sections: public, digital, and analog. You choose you choose digital, and near the bottom it says contact talk groups. You click on that, and you'll have 3 boxes pop up. It'll say send talker alias. You turn that on. Alias display priority is contact alias, and alias data format is ISO 8. And then you click OK, and then save it back to your radio. And that'll will look at your database first. If it doesn't see the name, then it goes to Brandmeister through Talker Alias, and it will pull the name and the call sign out. So there is a little time delay with Talker Alias. It looks like it's not working, and then 1 second later, the person's name and call sign pops up. But that's how you get to Talker Alias on the Anytone radios. Okay, back to you, Net Control.
All right, Stuart. Well, thank you very much for that information, and I hope that helped Sully. And I'm going to stand by one more time for any more questions, comments.
How's it out?
KD4LZL. Go ahead, Sully.
Thank you, Stuart, for the info. I'll look into that. And but I'm still confused whether I'm using a hotspot or I'm using a repeater, a Brandmeister repeater, or a hotspot. I still get some do it light up the whole screen, and some don't. So I'm getting confused as why it works for some and it works for others. I mean, you would think if my radio is programmed to receive that information, that it would receive it from all radios, but evidently it doesn't. So that's where I'm really having my confusion. But I'll dig into it and try to figure something out here. Appreciate the input from you, Stern, and everyone else. Thank you, Julie, for your time.
All right, Sully. Well, thank you. Yeah, and hopefully that will work for you. And I'm sure Stuart wouldn't mind getting together with you and running through step by step. You know, you guys can connect elsewhere or on the Facebook page, etc. So, fine business. And with that, I'm going to stand by one more time for anybody else with anything to say or any more check-ins. This is WH6 FUW.
EZW.
HB9 ECW. Go ahead, Simon.
All right, this is HB9ECW. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, that is great information, Stuart. And as you mentioned, the Talker alias needs a few packets before it shows up. It's not in one single packet, so if one just keys up and is not transmitting for 2 or 3 seconds, you don't get a Talker alias. So that might be the reason. Also, the repeater has to be capable of doing Talker alias. Apart from that, I got 20 check-ins as well, so our number matches. Thank you very much once again. 7-3, love you all, and catch you down the lock. Back to Net.
All right, Simon. Well, thank you very much, and thanks for doing NetLogger as always. And I'll go ahead and post my thing. You can post your thing, and we'll get together there on Facebook after the net. That reminds me, we do have a Facebook page, Aloha DMR, and also let's see, it's Talk Group 3101 Net. So you're welcome to join either one of those. And with that, I am going to say 7-3, Aloha. Thank you all so very much for being here today. Good to hear some of the old people we haven't had on for a while and some of the new people that have never been on. Hope to hear you all again next week, same time, same place. In the meantime, please stay safe. Take care of each other. Stay safe. Love you all, and I will talk to you again on Sunday. This is WH6 FUW now closing the 3:10:02 Wednesday Aloha DMR Net at 7 minutes past the hour. 7-3 in Aloha, WH6 FUW clear.
Okay, and 4 RN W4